Hi guys, it's Wade here with your Thursday spot on Pagan Perspective, and this week's topic is actually a brilliant topic. We have covered this kind of before, but now we're going into it into more depth and kind of focusing on 2012 specifically. So yeah, the topic is 2012 and the end of days. Previously this week we've had some really good videos, so I do advise you to check those out because mine's going to be more of opinion than fact, simply because I don't want to go over what you've already seen. Annie, on Monday, she did a brilliant video talking about her perception of what she thinks 2012 is, and she basically talked about that she feels that 2012 is basically like another date that us humans put down in hope that there is going to be change of some form. And I do agree with her to some certain degree. Actually, I do feel personally that there is some part of me that hopes that 2012 will be a change, but I know inside of me it feels that there is going to that's never going to happen. I really feel that it's never going to happen, and my mind kind of thinks on a very I don't know how to put it, not a very exciting level. I kind of feel that if something is going to happen on 2012 that is going to cause a change in the world, maybe in poverty, a change in our mental state, it's going to be a slow change, and that's just going to be the beginning of that. So I don't necessarily feel that come 2012 we are going to see some big change in everyone, and everyone's going to like, yay, let's get rid of, I don't even know, but I just don't think there's going to be a huge change specifically then, though I do feel that it may be a turning point for us. I do actually believe that there may be something there, and then I suppose I'm going back on what Annie said, but check out her video, it was really good. Tuesday you had Cara was talking about the astrological cycle, astrological ages, how changes in our world have related to that specific star sign, astrological sign for that that era, that age. I can't get my words out today. So that video was actually brilliant. If you're watching now, Cara, that was fantastic. She basically talked about that, how different things have changed over time and how that relates to the age, and then talking about how us, the age of Aquarius, and what's coming next for us could be predicted through that. And it's just really interesting to see a concept and an idea and a theory and what people believe as to that, and not necessarily saying I believe that, not saying I don't, but I did find it fascinating, and I am of course going to go and have a look at that because I love anything to do with astrology and I've never actually seen anything about that before in that kind of detail. So if you're interested in that, check Cara's video for Tuesday. She also did quite a bit of information on the Mayans, and talking about how they separated everything into suns, which I had I've learnt previously from a book that I was reading, Celestial Prophecy, I do believe. So yeah, check Cara's video. Really good for anything really about 2012, about when the end of days is going to happen and changes in our world. So do check that out, that was fantastic. And also I want to say hello to Eric and welcome back. He's been on a little break, so it's great to have him back, of course. And he also did a fantastic video on anybody who obviously works with or is interested in pagan gods, the old gods. He talked about the new gods coming in after that, and that was really interesting as well. So this week you've had some really strong videos actually, and you always come to this point, it's like, yeah, so there's not really much else to share with you. So I kind of always feel that I need to now just talk about my opinion, and it isn't that interesting, but I'm going to give it you anyway. Basically, like I said earlier, 2012 to me, although I want to believe it's going to be something great, some epic change in the world, I personally don't think it's going to be that. I really don't, and it's not that I don't have that intelligence or that mental space to believe in something like that. It's the fact that I just don't feel it's going to happen like that. If it's going to be something, I honestly do think it's going to be something that's going to happen, start then, and change over a large amount of time, maybe through the age, and as we grow. I don't know, I just don't think it's going to be as sudden as people are expecting. and I do believe that there is going to be some spiritual enlightenment. To what degree, I'm not really sure. But let's wait and see. Let's wait and see, because I don't necessarily want to sit here and say, oh yeah, there's going to be a huge change, and then something like the rapture happens, because that would be embarrassing, extremely embarrassing. But yeah, that's what I honestly believe. It's kind of weird sitting here, because I'm totally going to talk about myself right now, but it's okay, because I just turned 20 about an hour ago. So actually, I don't even think it was an hour ago. I think it was like half an hour ago, because I know I meant to do my video on a Thursday, but I always come home late. Tonight, my mates, we had a Disney night. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but yeah, basically I'm 20 now, so yay! So that's exciting. So I'm officially no longer a child. I'm no longer a teen, which is kind of sad, because I'm now actually a man. So yeah, so basically that's what I feel about 2012. End of days. Like I mentioned in my past video that we did on creation, I kind of feel that it's a very scientific point of view. It's going to end when the sun goes supernova. That's kind of when I feel that is, and I do support a lot of my beliefs on science, which is weird, but I personally do put a lot of scientific things first, and that's not because I don't like to believe in things. It's just because that's the way I think, and I do like that kind of stability of science. I don't have anything against science, not suggesting that any of you do. It's just that I do that. And for those of you who are listening thinking, why is he doing a Pagan Perspective channel? I am Eclectic Wiccan, and that sounds so weird. But we all have our little things. We all have our strange perceptions of life. So yeah, that's it. 2012 to me is not going to be the end of the world at all. 2012 is going to be possibly the start of something new, something that's going to take a while to happen, and let's hope that there will be some kind of change in the world, because it's not a terrible place, and I'm going to say that honestly now. It's not a terrible place right now. Too many people moan about, oh, the world is awful, it's awful. Well, love, go back a few hundred years and you'll see an awful place. People getting stoned to death. I don't see how that was any better. And especially a lot of people when they go, I wish we were back in the 1800s. I wish we was back in the 1950s. Well, I don't wish I was back in the 1950s. Thank you very much. So yeah, I just feel like, but it's inevitable for there to be an intelligence change anyway. I don't necessarily feel like we need to put a date to say, oh, 2012, we're all going to think better. Well, I should hope I think better. I should hope I know a little bit more by then. So yeah, that's all I really got to say. I'm not going to drag it on anymore. So I hope you all have a fantastic week. I really do. And last week's topic, I'll quickly talk about that, was healing spells and personal gain. Well, 2 weeks ago I believe it was. I couldn't make that for certain personal reasons, which I did mention previous. Actually, was it last week? It doesn't even matter. It was a healing one, wasn't it? I always feel like healing spells, I take them with precaution, because the personal gain thing is really important to me, and especially with I've been such a strong believer in karma. Karma seems to follow me around like a magnet. I'm not even joking. And certain people will have felt the bite of that in the past few weeks. So I'm kind of scared to do things, especially with witchcraft side of things. And if I do something healing wise, I tend to give it a few weeks to look over it, which is, yeah, maybe I'm a bit slow with that, but it's not a bad thing to be precautious, is it? Really isn't. So I honestly do just want to say that I take a lot of care in what I'm doing with witchcraft, and it's not necessarily that I feel that it's going to be an epic thing that's going to happen. I know I've said that word about 10 times in this video. I just think it's important for me not to mess around with karma, because I am a huge believer in karma. I think karma is probably the main thing that nobody's ever going to tell me doesn't exist, ever. So yeah, have a great week, and yeah, nice to be. Peace out.